My name is Lifted Conscious, and I am glad to share this beautiful moment with you in which we create and share a new perspective in a place where we can think deeply and be free without fitting into these mind structures that we're always trying to get rid of day by day. Before anything, I'd like to give a shout out to Infinite Waters and Mr. Ralph Smart for giving us the continuous flow of inspiration. Definitely amazing to have people like him to connect with and get inspired from. This video is about strategies on how to open your heart. We live in a world where people are very emotionally repressed. This is the people we are around. This is who we are. It's something that I continuously work on. But I know a lot of people are having difficulty with coming to terms with feeling again because we have numbed ourselves away with all these drugs. And I'm not talking about just heroin, cocaine, marijuana, and all these things we call drugs. I'm talking about also sugar, and I'm talking about coffee, all these other drugs that we're exposed to that we call normal. In terms of what have they been good for, aside from giving us sensory satisfaction, they have helped us suppress our emotions and ignore how we really feel and the things that we really have to deal with in order to soar into our higher self. Where should we start in terms of opening our heart? Getting vulnerable. We must not be afraid to get vulnerable. What does getting vulnerable entails? It entails letting go of the idea that you have to have it all under control all the time. Letting go of the idea that you have to show people that you have it under control all the time. Specifically, if these are our serious, deep connections like our family and our close friends, we should be able to be free emotionally with these people. But where can we start if it doesn't come that easy for the people that are around us? It starts with ourselves, with our own courage to let ourselves be seen for who we really, really are. For seeing ourselves for who we really are. Because it's all connected. And when we see ourselves for who we are able to see other people for who they are. And we gain this deep understanding of the emotional realm that we continuously ignored and that is so prominent because, as it turns out, we are beings who are very emotional. And it's not to say that our emotions are good or bad. They are just something we experience that help us realize things about ourselves. To me, emotions are tools more than anything. So getting vulnerable is scary and it takes a lot of courage. But this is the way that we make deep connections, when we let ourselves be seen and we see other people. This also entails letting go of shame and fear. And letting go of shame and fear is not just getting rid of the voices in the back of our heads that tell us, what are these people going to think of us? It has to do with getting rid of the concepts that manifest these situations, which include the word shame itself, the word embarrassment itself. Through these words, we manifest these stories and they become circumstances, they become situations. So this thing that I do a lot, which has helped me transcend to my true self, is letting go of these concepts. I'm not embarrassed. I don't feel shame. I am uncomfortable because this is unfamiliar to me and I am so used to my life being a certain way. But I am courageous enough to transcend that because I am not fear. I am not shame. I am not embarrassment. I am none of these things. These are just concepts that I have used to express states of feeling that encompass my experience all the time. So this leads us to realizing that we are not our emotions. You are not mediocrity. You are not self-loathe. You are not the feeling of unworthiness. You are not these things. These things were built through your exposure to culture and your experience. This is how you have came to believe that you are these things, but you are not that. And how do you know that? because you are observing these emotions just like I'm observing this rock that I'm sitting on. Therefore, who is the person observing? That is the ultimate mystery, and it definitely keeps me going in terms of investigation of the mind and the spirit, because it's a mystery that we're not meant to know. Clearly, we're meant to experience these things, but we have forgotten that we're not dumb. You are not your emotions. You are not your bad feelings. They were created through emotional behaviors from the past, and you have to let them go. You let them go, release them. That is not who you are. This is how you get aligned to your true self, to your higher self. And you welcome more messages that come from your higher self. And it's definitely a beautiful message to hear all the time and to not ignore it. It's kind of like when we were little in cartoons, there was like this certain scene that they always played, which is like the little devil and the angel. That's kind of what it is. You have the little devil, all these social constructs in your mind of how you are who you are, and then you have the little angel, which is your higher self telling you, listen, this is not who you are, listen to me. So we have to learn to listen to this little angel on our shoulder that is telling us you can be free from all of that. You don't have to be these things. They don't have to be you all the time. Another thing that has enabled me to open my heart is accepting heartbreak and changing the concept that I use to describe them and what they mean to me. Heartbreak is not just my heart breaking into pieces. Heartbreak is my heart breaking open. What is heartbreak? Heartbreak is an ego death. And I know ego death is a concept that we use to describe a state in drugs like LSD, but I'm not talking about drugs right now. I'm talking about real life. What do we experience in heartbreak? We experience an ego shattering experience. This is what we really experience. The universe is telling us you're not always going to get what you think and how you have built it according to your social constructs and your mind constructs. And it wakes you up from that you have to learn to love your experience and welcome it exactly how it is. And this is what heartbreaks really are. So instead of drowning in heartbreak and thinking this is the end of life, love sucks, blah blah blah, the same story that we hear over and over, we have to switch the way we perceive heartbreak and embrace it for the wisdom that it brings us. Not so much focusing on the struggle and the bad emotional experience, but more the wisdom, the transcendence that comes with learning from the experience and not getting stuck in the problem, seeking solutions and how to get out of them. And the best solution is by transforming your experience and your lessons into things that you can carry with you in your life and apply, and they will make your life much easier emotionally. Because we carry all these ways of thinking about life, and they're old and they don't serve us anymore. We have to switch how we perceive it, and this is a collective thing because we share the way we perceive life. This is what connects us, so we have to connect deeper. Another thing that one must get used to doing if you want to open your heart and be able to feel more is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Not looking at it like there's something wrong with you because you suffer or you feel uncomfortable. You are exposed to the experience, this continuous, wild, suppressed emotional stuff that they're all around us. So knowing that you're exposed to this, you have to realize that being uncomfortable has to get comfortable. And also, once we face these things and we learn to experience them deeply, we create an adaptation. Just like if you go to the gym and you lift weights and you create adaptations when you get uncomfortable, those last 3 reps you don't want to do, that's how it goes. You also create an adaptation when you are okay with being uncomfortable, because you know that you are becoming stronger and all this wisdom is being uploaded to your mind, and you hear the message of the universe. If you really open your heart to it, you have to be willing. It's a willing conscious thing, and then eventually you can embed it more in your subconscious, but at first it has to be a conscious appliance, a constant conscious appliance, and then it becomes a subconscious state. So this leads me also to observing our triggers. Why did this lady in the morning get me so mad? Not so much why is she so evil, why is she so mean, what is wrong with her? No. Shift your focus inwardly. Why do I feel like that? Why do this person triggers me to feel like that? It's like I'm a prisoner of them. What can I do to not feel like that anymore? This opens your heart to yourself and how you have to improve so you can be that true person that you want to be. Or you can be connected with your higher self. That's ultimately what we want. And opening our heart is crucial to creating a new world. Because unless we don't make deep connections with other people, our collective connection is going to continue to be poor. We need to get vulnerable. We need to let go of shame and fear. We need to know we're not really our emotions. We need to accept heartbreak as an opportunity to gain wisdom. We need to be courageous and connect with each other at a more deeper level in order to come together and create a better world. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for listening.